Rubiaceae Coffea, otherwise known as coffee, can be found in a bunch of different forms, from black coffee to Americanos to lattes, frappuccinos, affogatos, and even coffee cake, which actually doesn't have any coffee in it. It's meant to be drank or consumed with coffee. Anyways, coffee is one of the world's most popular beverages, surpassed by only tea and water. But where exactly does coffee come from? How is it produced? And what are the effects? These are important questions to ask of a beverage that is so widely consumed in the US and throughout the world. According to legend, coffee originated in the Ethiopian highlands. A goat shepherd by the name of Kaldi witnessed his goats chewing on bright red berries. When he tried these berries for himself, he found himself with extra energy. This shepherd promptly took the bright red berries to his local monastery, where the monks converted it into a dark, mysterious beverage that had the same effect as the berries. This beverage began to spread, and eventually found itself in the Arabian Peninsula, where it became a popular beverage in coffee shops. As Europeans traveled in the area, they tried the beverage for themselves, and eventually took it back to Europe. Although it was met with skepticism at first, it quickly became very popular, and along with tea, helped usher in the Enlightenment, as prior to this the beverage of choice was beer and wine, a depressant, whereas now coffee and tea replaced it as a stimulant. As European colonization began, the coffee plant and its cultivation, not really the plant, just the cultivation part, began to spread. The first successful coffee plantation outside of Africa and Arabia was in Indonesia on the island of Java. It then quickly spread to the island of Sumatra. The French then promptly began coffee plantations in South America in French Guiana, and then it also spread to Central and South America and the Caribbean. In the US, the original beverage of choice was tea, but as the American Revolution broke out, it was seen as an unpatriotic drink, so the switch was promptly made to coffee, and it has remained so ever since. Now, the process of making coffee is pretty straightforward. Bright red berries are harvested from the tree and are then dried and processed into green beans. These green beans are then exported all throughout the world, where they are roasted accordingly, medium, dark, light, etc., etc. Now, the methods of preparing coffee vary, but their effects are more or less similar. For an average healthy person, there are no risks to consuming coffee, so long as you remain within the FDA's recommended 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. Coffee is found to have many vitamins and minerals that are important for health and human function. Coffee itself has been found to increase, brain function and cognitive function. In addition, it may also provide some protection against Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, two diseases that aren't too fun to deal with. In addition to this, it has been shown to improve the metabolism. However, there are some downsides to coffee, as people who suffer from insomnia, high blood pressure, and anxiety could be negatively impacted by the amount of caffeine that's found in coffee. In addition, an actual physical addiction can be formed, and breaking this cycle of coffee consumption could actually have real world effects such as migraines, all the other symptoms of withdrawal that there are. However, in general, it is safe for most people to consume 2 to 5 cups of coffee a day, depending on their strength. But yeah, unless you're a pregnant woman who also should just not consume any caffeine in general, or unless you suffer from, like I said, anxiety or insomnia or high blood pressure, it's probably best to at least limit how much coffee you drink, or maybe switch over to something that has less caffeine in it. But in general, it's a great way to start your day. It gives you that sometimes early morning kick that you need, and it does have some benefits. So yeah, it's a pretty good beverage. But I mean, the alternative is to just start every morning with an ice bath or some other form of waking up, which doesn't sound too great. So yeah, I think I'll stick to coffee.